over the last 2 years, we've used a Honda 3000 IS generator, and Honda makes such amazing generators. They do. They're reliable. They're kind of like the industry standard. This has been a great generator. We have no issues with it. This one's actually quite a great generator in the fact that it's also remote start and remote stop. But the issue with this generator is it's so tall that it doesn't fit under the Diamondback cover in Debbie's truck, and that isn't great. And we were thinking about putting it into the hitch, but it would require modifying that hitch, and the other side of that is maintenance becomes an issue, getting it out becomes an issue, any kind of service work that has to have repair wise or whatever else. And the other thing too is we'd have to definitely kind of take that, it's not dual fuel, so we'd have to do a dual fuel conversion on it, and we'd have to basically pipe out the exhaust. This one is just so heavy. It's 178 pounds. It's a beast. Doesn't have a wheel kit. Doesn't have the handlebar to be able to handles to pull it around. It's just too big for what we need. And these Firman generators are highly rated. Yeah, they're offshore, but a guy at work has one and it runs great. Everyone I talk to, that doesn't seem like there's any issues with these. For the price point, they're amazing. We'll be able to sell this one used, cleaned up, for probably the same or even a bit more of what we had to pay for this one. And this one's light. It really is light, and this one fits in that tray area with no modifications and comes with dual fuel. So we're going to give it a try. Let's start this thing up. I've added the oil, I've connected the battery, checked the oil level. It is ready to run. Put some fuel in it. So here's that propane regulator. We'll give this a try later to see how this thing runs. We'll both on running on gasoline with the air conditioner running. It's a nice warm day here. And we'll see how it handles the air conditioning, and then we'll go to propane and see how it handles the air conditioning. That's the key points right there. Now obviously it's not going to be the same apples to apples, Honda versus the offshore brand, but I think it might be okay. Might serve our purpose. We don't run a generator a lot, but when we do need one that is reliable, so hopefully this one fits the bill. So I've taken the side cover off, found the wires that you have to connect for the power. It's a ground wire that they disconnect, so you don't accidentally start this thing without adding the oil, reading the directions, which is good. That's smart. Contents of the oil here is 432 mils, which is odd, so it doesn't really tell me to dump the whole content in the crankcase, but it does tell me not to overfill it. So being that that's an odd size, I'm sure that is the whole container in there, but I'll be careful. I'll do a couple steps making sure that it's not going to get overfilled, and I will fill it up. It comes with a funnel. Comes with the propane stuff, some tools, has a little odd size plug-in for 12 volts, be able to charge up a battery. It does come with this little power transformer piece, which I'm not even sure what that is yet, but I will show you when I figure that out. It does have an insulated case, which is good, so hopefully this little guy is pretty quiet. We'll see what it's like. So I filled the oil. It is the 432, which makes only sense that it would be the right size. It does. I saw online there someone talks about keeping that container. The oil level is at that line there. It makes sense. Keep the container, and that way if you're going to do an oil change, which I recommend at 25 hours for the first oil change and then 100 hours after that. Long story short of that would be is you top up that container with your new container to that line, just pour the whole thing in. It would be just perfect. It's reading just at the top of the full mark now. So I'll put this thing back together and let's see if it runs. Gotta add some fuel first too, so let's put some fuel in. Okay, so that's with the air conditioner on. So that generator had quite a bit of load, and you know what? It's not that loud. So I'll let that run a little bit like that with the AC, and then I'll let it idle for some time again, and I'll switch to propane here. We'll do a break-in period for this grill, but it's not terribly loud. I think it's a little louder than our Honda, but I don't know by much. It seems pretty reasonable for running under almost full load. Okay, we're running on propane to get Debbie to kick in the air conditioner and just to see how how this thing reacts under load with just under propane. Gasoline is pretty quiet. Right now we're fully charged, so the charger's not running at all. It's just idling basically with nothing, no draw. So let's put some draw on it. Taking a while for the air conditioner to kick in. Taking a while for Debbie to get to the switch. I don't know. There it goes. Got a little flash of an overload there, but we don't have a soft start or anything on this air conditioner of ours yet. I think we're going to put it on there because it'll save some power when we're just on batteries too, because it takes a lot of load to start those air conditioners. But you know, this thing's pretty quiet. It's standing there when it's running on the propane. It's a typical engine, but you don't have those harsh vapors from the exhaust when you're on propane. It's so much cleaner. Yeah, it doesn't produce as much power. You lose 300 watts, it says, but really, running on propane, being cleaner, not having to back fuel, I think it's worth it. Let me know in your comments if you have one of these, what do you think of it on propane? So the bad thing is, our plan was to remove those tabs there and put our generator here, but the way that generator is, the exhaust is at the back. You check the oil at the very back of it. So you'd have to have this open for the front for access to all of your plugs and such like that. It's just not going to work in there. So we'll go back to plan B. I'm going to put an end, a 30 amp cord end on the end of this line, which goes to our auto transfer. And quite simply, you'll be able to just plug it in here. We won't have to run that 50 amp all the way to the back. So one less step. It'll have to live in the truck. And for the rare times we use a generator, we'll just get set on the ground, cable locked down, similar to we do the Honda here, and hook it up. And I'm going to do the propane regulator. I'm going to put, because we're not going to put the weight of the generator there, I'm going to upgrade it to 40 amp bottles. So we'll have some taller bottles in here, and I'll just put a line in there to go connect the T in there, propane T, to go off, and the propane regulator assembly can live here and just hook up to the generator. So it'll be close to the generator, but being that's on propane and being it'll be on the ground, it'll be good ventilation in that. So we're going to make that work. So it's not ideal, it's not what we're hoping, but it's going to work well, and we'll definitely get the Honda cleaned up and get that listed and get that thing sold. So Debbie came ahead of me and she found this site here. Now this is the old forestry site, so a BC park's not a provincial park. It's right on the river, and this is a spot that she put me through here, and I had my doubts that we would get in here, but she guided me and we managed to get in here. Don't know if we're gonna get out of here, but we got in here. But hey, I guess if you got in, you should be able to get out, right? But lots of trees, but it's a nice site. Let me show you. We don't have a lot of solar, so we have the generator sitting here, ready to go if required, but we should, I don't know if we have much for Sunstrike or not. We'll see, it's pretty limited, a lot of trees, but Starlink is hunting, trying to find satellites, but it's just straight up and down. So, but this here is the view, and it's very private, so the dogs will love it. We've got this whole entire area all by ourselves. But take a look at this. There's an RV trailer on the other side. That's the view. So, beautiful spot. And down at the other end there, it goes right down to the water, so we're gonna have to try our hand here and do some fly fishing in here. Might be a little bit of a back eddy in there, not sure. But maybe there's some small trout in there. But beautiful sight. I like it. Might not have much for Starlink or internet, but we'll manage. We're here for 5 nights.
On the Similkameen River, people love to come tubing. It's quite funny listening to them hoot and holler all the way through. The water is way lower than what it has been in years past. Last year and the year before, it's been terribly low compared to normal. But I guess that just kind of fits in with the drought that's going on in BC. The smoke is finally cleared today and it's nice. 30 degrees in the shade. Beautiful. when you were testing the generator on the hay ranch,
Right.
we did it under load with the air conditioner,
Yeah.
and it did fine, both on gas and on propane. But there was something that you said that
Yeah, that's a good
showed
point.
up here.
Because one, we were under big sun, so our batteries were at 100%, so the charger wasn't running. So we only really had it doing one thing. And that's one big difference between that and the Honda. Our Honda generator, now it works hard, but it can have the charger running, and the charger in our trailer is a 120 amp charger set at 80 amps. It burns a lot of power, takes a lot of power from the generator to run that charger. And then if you're doing another thing, like you're running your air fryer or microwave or the air conditioner, that one that we have here will not do it.
It tripped out with the air fryer and the charger.
Yes, and that surprised me. We've never had that problem. Even though this is rated at a higher wattage, it doesn't deliver like our other one does at all.
No.
Now there is a larger one of these. There is a 4,000 watt one, but it's bigger again.
Yes.
So we didn't go that route because it was a bigger, heavier generator. So Debbie, what do you think of that generator versus our Honda generator? Loud.
It's exceptionally loud. I'll try to yell so you can hear me because it's really loud. The exhaust on it stinks
When it's on gasoline.
when it's on gas.
We just switched to propane.
But our Honda doesn't smell like that. Even though our Honda is actually running a little rich right now, it doesn't smell like that.
Yeah.
That's awful. We have to shut all the windows and doors because it stinks so bad on gas.
Nice thing on that one though is it's light, it has wheels.
And
but
it's way easier to lift. And I have coincidentally a damaged elbow right now, and I've been finding the Honda nasty to lift into the back of my truck.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna keep the Honda,
Yes.
return that one.
Yes. But the beautiful thing about buying things at Costco is that
return
when it
them.
doesn't work, you return it to Costco and they don't care.
Plus that electric start doesn't work in that one either.
Yes.
So
So there's a lot of things about this one. I love the size. I love that it has the pull-up handle. I love that we can lift it easily, but it's not a Honda. And for my dad, it's not a Honda.
yeah, there you go. It's kind of like Debbie and Ford trucks.
Yeah, it's just not going to cut
It's
it.
not a Ford.
It's going back to Costco.
There you go. I guess in conclusion, one of the things to realize, and one of the things we realized, is we didn't expect this generator to outperform the Honda. But what we did expect was for it to check some of the boxes that the Honda wouldn't do or couldn't do. Now, when it comes to performance, we don't use a generator very often, but when we end up in sites like here, where we're in Princeton, and there's a lot of trees at the campground, we don't get a lot of sun, which means you don't get a lot of solar, which means you don't get a lot of charging. So right now you probably hear the generator running in the background. So there's times where we have to use it, but unfortunately for that one, there's more strikes against it.
I mean, ultimately what we were looking for is one that could go in our hitch
Yeah.
to get the generator, to get the generator out of the box of my truck and get it on the hitch so that we wouldn't have to keep pulling it out and putting it away, and that it would just be when we needed it, we fired it up and it was good to go.
Right, and on propane.
Yeah.
Not have to pack fuel anymore.
Yes,
That was another big
because
plus.
after our huge fuel spill that we had in Palm Desert, we didn't want to experience that
Yeah.
again. That was horrific.
No. But that being said, we can easily convert the Honda to propane too.
Yes.
There is a kit from that company in Oregon that does
But
it.
we still have the problem that the
beast.
Honda does not fit under my cover of my truck. It does not fit on the hitch. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss tale. Does not fit on the hitch, does not fit in the truck, does not fit on the bumper, it will not fit anywhere.
Sam, I am.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that's true. So we're not really convinced what we're going to do, but we just know that that's not going to fit the bill.
No, the Firman is going back to Costco. Thumbs down.
2 thumbs down.
Thanks for watching.